Yeah, there's a really real threat, but I wasn't made aware of by anybody in city leadership or police leadership. It wasn't until I actually spoke with Councilwoman Danielle Jurinsky that she was actually forthcoming with me. Nobody had been honest with me up until that point.
So that was Cindy Romero, the woman she mentioned you're going to meet in a moment here. She used to live in Aurora, Colorado. Romero did. She says no one was honest with her about how the Venezuelan gang is threatening her community, except that city councilwoman Danielle Jurinsky. Now that councilwoman is posting documents that she says indicates that authorities knew about the gang problem more than a year ago. There's an email from November of 2023. An officer in the Aurora gang unit says that an ICE agent passed along intelligence stating, quote, TDA, Tren de Aragua, has decided to make Denver their headquarters. Now, the information came from one agent, not federal immigration authorities. Wanted to talk to the councilwoman now with now they never before seen potential bombshell email. Good morning to you and thank you for your time. Prove your case, make your point. What do you think you have uncovered there in Aurora?
Yeah. Well, Bill, I have a whole bunch of emails. And listen, one thing I want to make very, very clear, and what I have said from the very beginning of all of this, is that the police officers want to help. They want to help. They want to police. They want to help the people of Aurora, struggling and suffering at the hands of Tren de Aragua. But it is very much police leadership in Aurora and city management at this point that has hogtied them. So I have become aware of dozens and dozens of emails. The city issued a statement yesterday confirming the validity of the emails. So it's not whether or not the emails are valid, but they issued a statement. And I don't know if you have that statement, but I sent over a couple of emails that I would like to have come out and be able to respond to the city.
I do have the statement. Before I get to it, let me just rattle off a couple quick questions here. I want quick answers so we can clarify this, okay? You ready? Who occupies the apartment complexes in question today? Is that the gang or not?
Well, who's controlling them is the gang.
Okay, maybe a better question. And you're saying the gang is today. Why would police in Aurora, as you allege, try and cover this up?
That's the million-dollar question. I never in a million years saw it going this way. I never saw it turning into a political football game like this. That is the million-dollar question. Why won't the city tell the truth? And if the city will tell the truth, then the mayor would know the truth once and for all, and the governor would know the truth once and for all.
Did DHS, did ICE, did Homeland Security notify local police that you know of? Or conversely, did the police notify any of these federal agencies?
Yes, to both.
The police did.
The police notified federal partners, and federal partners also gave a lot of information to the Aurora Police Department. I have emails that'll show that there were dozens of law enforcement agencies involved in different meetings over the handling of Tren de Aragua.
The reason that question is important because here's the statement that you're referring to a moment ago from the city of Aurora. We must remember that police departments and the justice system as a whole must rely on admissible evidence, not hearsay, rumors, and fragments of information. Contrary to claims made on social media and by select news organizations, the city, including APD, Aurora Police Department, has remained consistent in the responses on this matter. That's their statement. That's their quote. What problem do you have with that?
Well, I don't really have a problem. I would like to confirm that APD and the city has remained consistent to their responses on this matter. And that is to continue to deny, to flat out lie and gaslit essentially the entire country at this point on this issue. And that will be proven, Bill, in so many more emails that are going to come out, so much more video footage that's going to come out. 2 Monday nights ago, we had a city council meeting. And at the end of that meeting, I made a plea with the governor to please call me. I asked him to please call me, that I wanted to discuss this video footage with him. The video footage that recently came out of the woman stating that when she couldn't pay the rent to the gangs. At 9 months pregnant, they burned her with scalding water. I wanted to have a sit down with the governor, and I wanted to speak to him. And what he turned around and he did, Bill, is Tuesday morning, he called the police on me. And he made a public statement about it. He called the police on me Tuesday morning. I still haven't heard from him. But still, nobody is coming forward. Nobody wants to have a real conversation about this.
Well, either way, the story's not over. Appreciate you sharing your side of it, and we'll continue to pursue it with the police department there. The mayor, the governor, they're welcome to defend themselves after this as well. Danielle, thank you, and we'll find out the truth in the end. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.